Hello everyone, and today we are back for another top 5 video, and we're going to be talking about the top 5 Drudge Loomians in all of Loomian Legacy. Drudge is a support move that gives you a melee attack and speed boost, and this move is really good for setup sweepers. So let's see who the top 5 Drudge Loomians are. Let's head right onto this list. Number 5 onto this list is going to be Pterodon. Yep, probably the most overrated Loomian in all of Loomian Legacy right here. It has stuff. Mesmerizing is a great secret ability, meaning that you can't get priority moved on. It has a decent speed stat. It has good moves like Parasitize and Hyper Sting. It has coverage moves like Hydro Slash. It has everything to be a good Drudge Loomian. There is one problem though with Pterodon. It doesn't hit hard enough. There are times where even getting 2 or 3 Drudges will not OHKO the Loomian. I had +3 Pterodons not one-shot an Obsidian at half health before. I am serious. Also, Cosmores that live at +2. And not even worse, I had a Specmure at full health. I used Parasitize. It didn't even do half. And yeah, I know you gotta chip the opposing Loomians a little bit first, but it's not worth using this Loomian when there are other Drudge Loomians that I can utilize better, like Jolto for serite. Pterodon isn't a bad Loomian, and in this battle, I actually use it pretty well, but I could never really use it to its full potential, and that's why Pterodon is the worst Drudge user on this list. Number 4 onto this list is going to be Skellig. Now, a lot of people will say Skellig should be number 5, but Pterodon is so bad for me, I put it below Skellig. But there are a couple things that actually put Skellig over Pterodon. It has a faster speed stat, meaning that all you need is 1 Drudge in order to outspeed the opposing Loomian, and it actually hits decently hard with Outburst. Instead of having a 90 power stab move with 70 power coverage, you have 120 power stab with 80 power coverage, which is awesome. Not to mention, with Skellig getting Wave Wrecker, it can actually start sweeping Loomians now with Wave Wrecker. And I feel like that's the reason why Skellig does better compared to Pterodon, because its moves actually deal a decent amount of damage. Because Pterodon has Hydro Slash, Skellig has Drudge, Skellig has Outburst instead of Hyper Sting as the stab, and then there's Mega Chomp and Parasitize, and while Mega Chomp can not heal health, it also is a better offensive typing over Parasitize. Not to mention, combative. If you are hit by a Baffle or hit by a Terrifying, you gain extra melee attack and you can continue your sweep even further. Yes, these are legit reasons on why Skellig is better than Pterodon, and it belongs number 4 on this list. Number 3 onto this list is going to be serite. Now, the top 3 Loomians are really close, but serite is in the number 3 spot. And this is a very well-earned number 3. With Boiling Press, it can actually hit water type super effectively now. And this is a Drudge user that has extremely high melee defense. This is probably the easiest Loomian in the game to use a Drudge on, besides number 1. Not to mention, this thing has Awakening, hits decently hard, and it has Slapdown coverage, which is awesome. You can even run Barbs, Raging Flame, Mega Punch, Soaring Steel. There are so many different moves you can actually run on serite. Like, you could run Drudge 2 moves and Barbs if you really want to. Heck, you could even increase your defenses and offense at the same time and have Body Crash in the mix. There are a lot of ways to use serite, and while those movesets don't necessarily fit well with a Drudge serite, it still does very well because it has Boiling Press now, meaning it can actually hit those pesky water types super effectively. The only Loomians it can't really hit are fire types, but that's okay. Even if you're not able to hit the fire types as well, it could still hit pretty much any other Loomian in the entire game. And that's why serite belongs in the top 3 on the list, but it falls just short after number 3. Number 2 onto this list is going to be Jolto. Jolto is awesome. Yes, it may be a little slower compared to Pterodon, which you could say Pterodon is better than Jolto because of that. But Jolto hits harder, has better moves, and a better offensive typing. Electric Ancient is awesome. When you combine that with Earthquake, that's amazing. Yes, there are still melee tanks that can soak you, like Obsidragon, just like with Pterodon. You still gotta be careful with those melee tanks like Obsidragon. But unlike Pterodon, you only need like 2 Drudges in order to OHKO the opposing Loomian, because Jolto actually has a decent offensive stat, while also having moves that hit decently hard. Not to mention that it has pretty good bulk on both sides, so it can actually set up Drudge on a lot of different Loomians. Yes, Pterodon has better melee defense, but it doesn't have good range defense, so, well, Jolto is more balanced, meaning it is easier to set up Drudges on more matchups. Not to mention, it having Earthquake is a lifesaver. Having Earthquake on Jolto basically carries this thing to the top 3, and it goes number 2 on my list, but this Loomian could also easily be number 1. But it does fall just short of number 1 in my opinion. But this is the best offensive Drudge user in all of Loomian Legacy. Number 1 onto this list is going to be Obsidragon. Yes, Obsidragon is number 1 on the list yet again. Remember in the Jolto section where I said that Jolto is the best offensive Drudge user? Obsidragon is the best defensive Drudge user. Yes, this thing only has 90 melee attack, but if you use a Drudge, you can actually start outspeeding the threats that hit you super effectively. Yes, it is pretty hard to use the Drudges, I will say that, especially on range attackers, but if you can get one off, good luck beating this Obsidragon with Primal Slash and Body Crash. Heck, you can even run a Rageful Plushie Drudge set, so you can get a Drudge, get your speed, get your melee attack, and you can go up to +3 on one attack. And Obsidragon has some very good coverage. It has Mega Chomp, has Earthquake, it has Body Crash, it has Primal Slash, Feast Slumber. There are a lot of different ways you can actually run Obsidragon, and that's why Obsidragon is the best Drudge Loomian in all of Loomian Legacy. Again, it doesn't have the highest melee attack, so you do need to set up a couple Drudges in order to get your sweep, but if you're running Body Crash and get a Resilience boost, Obsidragon can nuke pretty much any Loomian in the entire game. I'm serious. It's that overpowered with Drudge. There's a lot of reasons why Obsidragon used to be an Uber, mainly because of Resilience and Drudge. And even though Resilience got nerfed, you could still use Drudge Obsidragon pretty effectively. And that's why Obsidragon is the best Drudge Loomian in all of Loomian Legacy. And here it is, Obsidragon, the best Drudge Loomian in all of Loomian Legacy. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. What are some other Drudge Loomians that I missed? And also another question. How do you think Akalos will do with Drudge? Please tell me in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see y'all all later. Bye-bye!